Jesus. Sorry about that, lads. My apologies. My apologies. I've got a lot of errors up on my V2 Rayen software, so I'm gonna. Oh. Okay. Fuck. Cool. Nice one. I like it when Twitch makes noises. That means good things. Yeah. Apologies for that. Let's get back in here. Okay, so we actually lost, because I had to reconnect, we lost our gold total, so I'll just look back over the stream, basically. And we'll add it up. Okay, we got that telltale bling, but it was a star balloon. And unfortunately, I was scrolling down through the messages, answering them one by one, but we got a disconnect. And now they disappeared. So I'm sorry if I missed any of the messages that I hadn't gotten to yet to respond to. Any chance you can do a video on how to farm the Fell Striker for us noobs who didn't pick it up before BC? I already did, actually. It's on my channel. Let me quick show you real quick. Now, it's a short showcase. It's a short showcase. Let's go to YouTube. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. I'm just checking my channel here before I jump over. There we go. Here we go. So, yeah, you just shadow step through the door. You need to obviously have the Seal of Ascension. You need to do the ring quest. But yeah, you go into the rooms here. You kill all the guys. It's not difficult. They're all low level. That's not hard. Yeah, you kill them all, and then that door opens. You come in here now. When you come in here on the left over here, this normally what you have to do is get 2 other people. So 3 people are clicking on it. And then what happens then is you click on it and it channels. And then all these guys, which are now non-combat units, they're not even interactable. They then rush there. And I'm sure you know this already. And then you kill him and the door opens. However, since I knew what the guys behind the door were called, I just made a target macro for them and then target one of them. But you can target guys through the floor as well, so you have to make sure it's the right one. So then you mark him, and when you see the mark come up, you jump and shadow step. Now you'll have to wiggle a good bit. The gap is very small. When I made the recording, I just got super lucky that I happened to be on the exact right line to get through, but you'll need to wiggle around for like 5 or 10 seconds while spamming shadow step to get through the door. Then you heal yourself up, and then you come in here and you can split these packs. So you can split them in half with your distract, like that small guy's still over there, right? And then they'll run around here, and that gives you time to, you know, you're not taking as much incoming damage. So there's a few different tips and tricks you can use. So I think I missed that one actually. You sap him and then open up on them. So you're using distract to split them in half, and then you're using sap and so on. And you keep doing that, and the packs get bigger and bigger. And then you get the rend thing. And so yeah, those are Waste Walker gloves from phase 1. That's the belt from the heroic. Those are the tier 4 pants. Those are Goblin rocket boots. That's the Mask of the Deceiver from the BOJ vendor. That's the chest guard of the Conniver from Karazhan. Those are the Spy Mistress's wrist guards, which are a quest. Blink Strike, Latro, Spine Sever, Abacus of Violent Odds, and so on. Now I swap out my Seal of Ascension here. And over here I swap in the Insignia of the Horde, because you need a PvP trinket. And you also want to have free action potions. And I put the NG belt in to absorb some damage. So this was in phase 1 though, so it was challenging to do it then with this gear. It would be much easier to do it now. So when he comes in, you want to immediately. Did I pop my belt here? No, I don't think I did. He can do a frost tomb thing on you, which is a real pain in the arse. So there we go. I pop my trinket and evasion. And then I pop my belt. That's an elementite grenade. Now I summon in Veil. There's Veil from Blackwing Lair using the ring. You can see here. See the ring down here? You'll see now. That's why I equipped it. You click on the, and then click the ring and watch my health. Veil will heal me for 5,000 now. There you go. And he'll join the fight. Help you kill Rend. That's a little secret. Not a lot of people know about that ring, that it actually has that ability when you fight Rend, that you can summon him into the fight. So then you kill him, and then you're just soloing Rend. Now he still hits hard. But I've got my rocket boots on. And his whirlwind still slaps. So you want to run away from that. And we've pretty much used up all of our cooldowns, all of our shenanigans, but we do have our boots. So what you want to do when you get low is you want to boots, create distance, and then bandage. And then hope he doesn't mortal strike you. And yeah. Loot your Fell Striker. Now when I made a short where I looted it, but I didn't get it in that run. But yeah, that's pretty much the crack. $270 bars for the TBC part of it. Yeah. Nice one. Nice one. Okay, I'm just gonna start stacking all of my Fell Iron then. I've already stacked some of it. But we'll just keep stacking that then. That's great to know. Put that down here. Let's get back to the farm. Once I have a lot of phase 3 gear, I'll start going for Fell Striker, yeah. You should also put ASMR title in your description. You got the voice for it, bro, plus chill farming. More views. If I put ASMR in the title, I think I'd have to put ASMR. They told me to do it. Thanks. 3 questions. Can we solo the seal? Is it possible to get that ring that summons the dragon? And sorry I missed it. What was the Fell Iron for? I'm farming it at the minute. Fell Iron is needed to level engineering. which a lot of people are going to respec when Wrath drops, because engineering is BIS for all classes in Wrath for DPS in a way that is way more. I mean, it's BIS now for bombs, but it's only a little bit of extra DPS. But in Wrath, you get access to haste, extra haste attachments on your gloves. You get access to rocket boots that are way better than the TBC versions. You get access to a portable mailbox. You get Jeeves, who can a portable repair bot that can do a repair bot on steroids, basically, that doesn't run out. It has a cooldown. Engineering in Wrath is absolutely broken. So everyone and their grandmother is going to go engineering. So that's why you need Fel Iron. Just so that people can get through the TBC part of the level up. Which is so obvious, but I forgot about it. But yeah, that's going to be really, really good. Can you solo the seal? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe, probably. Because you get him down to low health. And then you use the item on him. Totally forgot. We don't worry too much. We can just, oh, we can't vanish, right? Let's blind him. Let's gouge him. We don't even have any, yeah, we're dead here. My bad, trying to do too many things at once, not focused. Yeah, you just have to burn them down to a certain amount of health, and then you use the item, and then you mind control him, and then use his ability on the seal, and then loot the seal. So I think at level 70, it won't be too much of a problem. I think the only reason you needed more people for it was just for healing and extra DPS. So I don't think it's a requirement to have more than one person technically, as long as you can take the hits and do the damage. So it should be soloable. Is it still possible to get the ring that summons the dragon? Yes. So the ring, what you go into LBRS, Lower Blackrock Spire. And you get this, the unadorned steed, just kill mobs until it drops. Then you have to go and kill this boss to get this gemstone. Then you have to kill this boss to get this one. And you have to kill the last boss to get this one. I think it's only 3. It might be 4. But anyway, the bosses drop them. It's not a guaranteed drop chance, but you can go in and solo them now, so it's not a problem. So you get the seal and you get those gems and you combine them together. There's an NPC in the dungeon that gives you the quest for it. I'll make a video. I'll show you how to do it. We got both the chests already, so I'm actually going to reset it now. I don't mind about missing a mine, whatever. It actually evens up the gold per hour averages, because we missed a mine or two in SV. Fel Iron bar is now around 1.6 gold, and in Wrath of the Lich King it'll get to around 10 gold. Wow. Wow. I think that might be my new investment, dude. I think that might be my new investment. How much, let's see. Okay, so it's even better to buy the ores. It's even better to buy the ores. How do you feel about the reset spots fix? It hasn't been fixed because I'm still using those reset spots. I was using them yesterday. The main one in the first room. Now, they did telly on top of me. But I think that's because they could see me. But I got into the reset spot, hopped up and down, and dropped combat multiple times over the last 3 days. So they're still useful. Awesome, thanks. You're welcome, brother. The quest is bugged nowadays, by the way. When you get all the gems, you need to drop another coin to be able to finish the quest. Huh. Interesting. That's an LPS. Very nice. Another good investment for Wrath of the Lich King is Aquamarine. There's a section in JC you cannot get past without them. Wrath is going to be easy gold farming. Just do daily quests will reward you like 600 plus gold. Yeah, but daily, you can get the gold that you need to do what you want. Baseline, like raid cons and stuff from dailies. But you never get enough gold from dailies to be able to buy whatever you want. Or everything you want. We're looking for the farms that can do that, or the investment opportunities that can do that. And Ben Dalad is 100% correct. When we started TBC this time around, I remember I burst to 70 in 3 days, and I was looking at the price of adamantite on the auction house because everyone was mining it because they were leveling mining, but they were all Zerg leveling. But nobody was using it yet because generally people want to burst to 70 and then focus on professions. So for the first few days, well, for the first week really, adamantite and the ores were worth pennies. And then I just saw them shoot up to like almost 3 gold for 1 adamantite ore. So, you know, I was like kicking myself. But at the end of the day, I didn't have the money because I was saving up for Blink Strike anyway. But I learned from that, and I said to myself, I'm going to find the best investment opportunities for Wrath and do that. And initially I was thinking to just buy titanium, buy all the titanium as I level up. Whenever I see it go on the auction house, just buy titanium and buy the ores with all the money I have because it's going to double or triple in price after the first week or two. So that was my goal. But Ben Dalat, I'm so happy you said that because I'm just going to keep all my fell iron now. I mean, just farming fell iron in TBC is enough to make you enough money to be set for Wrath. If you just don't sell it and you save it all for Wrath. So that's really, really nice to know. You have 5k fell iron and 1k aquamarine. Wow. You're going to be rich. what do fell iron bars stack? In stacks of 10 or 20? Because if there's stacks of 20, I'll start smelting my fell iron. And get double the bank space, right? Mate, that's so good. Thank you so much, Bendelab. I'm going to focus on fell iron now.
What is this? You must forgive me, but I was not expecting company. As you can see, we are somewhat preoccupied.
I use investments to fight inflation. The inflation will melt your TBC gold and Wrath of the Lich King bar stack in 20s. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, we got one more run of Mana Tombs. And then I'm going to look back over the stream and add up the gold because we obviously got a disconnect. So it reset our gold. Cheap shot, blind, back to him. 2 mana, 2 combo points into slice and dice. Now we get our armor pen buff. Oh, he's probably going to pull them. Yeah, but maybe we can kill him. Ah, that's beautiful. I'm going to start smelting fell iron in a very excitedly way. Like gleefully giggling to myself as I smelt my fell, knowing that it's the most undervalued ore in TVC and it's worth pennies now, but it's going to make us so rich. You're a legend. I appreciate that so much. When you're in it for the long haul and you know what's coming and you can do stuff like start planning for how to be rich beyond your wildest dreams in Wrath in the middle of TBC, that's when you're peaking. That's when you know your addictions have gotten the better of you. Okay, we got 2 minutes. I'm going to run out for a quick smoke. And we'll do our last. Oh, nice one. Then we'll do our last MT and what are we at? 10 to 11. Then we'll do 5 more of SV and 5 more of MT and we'll call it a night. So we'll be on for another hour and a half, 2 hours, I'd say. All right, we're back. Let's connect our headphones. Aha, we didn't reset. Whoever has inscription is going to make so much golden wrath because of glyphs and darkmoon cards. If they get the right procs early on, you need to discover the right inscriptions, the really key ones, like you discover in TBC. Okay, we've got chest left. Well, I mean, you're right, of course. That it's just a matter of time before you get those. So if you go inscription, you are going to make good money. We're going to do it like this. This is the old school way to do it. This is if you have low gear. We didn't take a single point of damage. That's nice. We got one, but not the other. I found a farm that's much more relaxed and yields about the same as SVMT. It's herbalism in Dire Mall East. Yes, it does now because of Demon Slayer Elixir. Convert the ghost mushrooms into Grom and Grom's blood into, demon slaying elixirs and sell the leftover Grom's blood and dream foil. It takes me 30 minutes to do 5 runs, and in 5 full resets I get enough mats to craft 100 elixirs plus procs, and when I sell that I make between 850. That's so nice. I made so much money in Dire Mall East with this rogue in Classic. Actually, it wasn't this rogue. It was my older rogue. Yeah, Grom's Blood, Dream Foil, 2 chests. The satyrs that you kill on the runs give you fell cloth, which sell for a lot in Classic as well, and the chests can drop traveler's backpacks, which are the best bags in Classic. It's such a nice farm. It's up there in my top 5 farms of all time. I love it. My favorite farms are on a fresh server at level. You can start at level 30, but you really have to know what you're doing, and you have to have like all the right. You need to be NG and have lots of healing potions, but basically from between level 30 and 35, you sneak into Scarlet Monastery graveyard. You sneak through into the courtyard. You kill the non-elite ghosts using Blade Flurry, and you get lots of silk cloth as well as green items. And there's 2 chests in possible chest locations in the courtyard. one of them will spawn, so you get that. Then you go down into the crypt, and there's a chest there that you can get as well. And you can kill all of the rare spawns. And those chests can drop Tiger Strike Mantle, level 29 base and twink item, even though people don't really twink much anymore. And you can get the Butcher, level 26 main hand sword, which is best for rogues. And you can farm that until you get to 40 because you're getting experience from all those mobs. And when you get to 40, you've got well over 100 gold to get your mount. It's so much fun. On a fresh server, it's such a good way to make money as a rogue. Dire Mall East is another one. That's in the up in the top for me. The Zul'Gurub stealth farming guide. It was my first video. It's got like 65,000 views now, but it had like 50k views in the first couple of months. I went in there with my guild and killing. Spec swap. Went in there with my guild just raiding it, and I noticed like there'd be a Hakari thorium vein that can drop arcane crystals, of course, and it'd be off in the distance, and we'd just run past it because people don't really care about the veins in raid, right? So when we finished the raid, I was like, I can probably sneak back and get that vein. So I did. And when I snuck back and got that vein, I had this eureka moment. What if I can just sneak in here and get some other veins? And I started doing that. And then I had this idea where I was like, what if I can figure out how to solo mine every single vein in here? Like, I know it won't be worth it to get every vein because you have to use all sorts of tricks and shenanigans. And gold per hour wise, it just won't be worth it. But as a personal challenge, what if I can figure out how to solo every vein? And I spent a week theory crafting and testing different stuff out, and I eventually did it, and that was the first video. So Zul'Gurub stealth farm is obviously up there in the top 5. And now SV, obviously, because of the developments I made to that farm this time around. And the Cara farm and Wrath. Those would be my top 5 rogue gold farms of all time. But there's so many other good ones as well. At 70, you don't have to kill anything except one pack for specific Grom's Blood. Yeah, the Grom's Blood farm you're talking about is the one that's on the bottom right corner of the pool that has the second boss. It has a satyr and a pack of small imps. There's about 5 or 6 of them. That's the one you're on about, right? How do you have your damage numbers like that? Mix scrolling battle text. You have different scroll areas. Actually, I'm gonna put them over here. I kind of like it like this. Let's put the procs back on, but I want to change. Yes, that's the only pack you cannot pick without combat. Cool, thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, I managed to solo, like, the dream as a rogue for me. I was trying to figure out how to do the solo the second boss and the last boss so you could get into the tunnel to mine the veins for the arcane crystals. And in phase 1, with my Night Elf Dagger Rogue, I managed to kill the second boss. There's a video up on my channel showing people how to do it. I think if I had gone back in and tried with swords in phase 2, I would have been able to kill the last boss as well. But I never did it. I was moving on and doing other things. However, something really cool about the second boss I can share with you is this. If you use the Ultra Flash Shadow Reflector, he casts a Sacrifice ability, which immediately ports you onto the altar beside him, wraps you in chains like Terestium Ilhoof in Karazhan. That was the last, wasn't it? Yeah. Wraps you in chains, and it does shadow damage, periodic shadow damage to you while you're in there. But if you use, and it's a half-second cast, so it's really, really fast. It might even be 0.25 seconds, I'm not sure. But if you use this, you can reflect his sacrifice, and it ports him onto the altar. And there's a video on my channel showing me doing this. The only problem is the sacrifice ability deals periodic damage to you, and it heals him for the same amount of damage it does. So while you can reflect that ability and he sacrifices himself, the damage he deals to himself is instantly negated by the self-heal. So it doesn't actually do any damage to him. But it's a very fun thing to do. Okay, we have enough free action potions and swim speed potions and swiftness. Let's go into our SV. I'm not going to update it now because it was split. I need to go back and look. I'll do it at the end of the farm, at the end of the stream, and then update the mana tombs. Do you have Shadow Res figured out for phase 3? Any tips on that? Sure. A couple of tips. Let me just send some bandages over. Tips. Okay, so if you take your phase 1 gear, your Karazhan, your tier gear, which still does decent DPS, re-enchant every possible piece with Shadow Res if it's available for that slot. If you're exalted with the Argent Dawn, you can hand in, I think it's bone fragments, and you can get a Shadow Res, classic Shadow Res enchant that's base for the slot for Shadow Res, but you need to be exalted with the Argent Dawn. So it has to be an older character. Then what you do is get any available Shadow Res on all the pieces from your tier 4 gear, and then buy Void Spheres, the gem that gives you +4 all res, and just put that in every single socket. then you'll have a decent amount of shadow res, and then you can just poke in a few greens here and there to get up to whatever your guild has assigned. For us, it's 174 shadow res unbuffed. That's one strat. But the best strat, and this is only a few. Now, I'm going to try and do this week 1. I need to run it by my guild master and see if he'll allow it. But see if she'll allow it. And our raid lead, his girlfriend, her boyfriend. But the other way to do it is you equip your NG rocket boots. You equip this dual crafting neck. Pendant of Shadow's End. It lasts 5 minutes, 1 hour cooldown. Use absorbs 900 to 700 shadow damage. So the delta there is 1800, that's 9 and 9. So the average will be 1800 shadow damage it will absorb. And it has 30 shadow res on it. You have this equipped on your neck. You have your boots equipped. You have your NG belt equipped. And if you get if you get targeted with her debuff, everyone gets teleported. You're leashed together with these purple smoky chains, and it does periodic shadow damage to all 3 of you until you get far enough away from each other to break the link. So if you get teleported as a rogue, you instantly pop your neck and your cloak of shadows and your boots, and you burst out away from the other 2 and you break it really quickly. Your Cloak of Shadows won't remove the debuff, but it will mitigate the damage, periodic damage you're doing. And in conjunction with, or in combination with, the neck and the boots, that's enough shadow res and damage mitigation for the amount of time you're going to have the debuff on to get away. And if you get unlucky and it happens to you a second time in the fight, you use sprint, you pop, the first 3 combos you macro, by the way. So you macro, use Pendant of Shadow's End, use Rocket Boots, cast Cloak. And then you have a second macro if you do get targeted a second time. Use Nyan Vulnerability Belt, cast Sprint, use Shadow Protection Potion, and get the potion that absorbs the most amount of shadow damage. And you basically do the same thing again. And that way, you only have to, you can wear your full base gear, you just swap out 3 pieces. And then you can do insane damage. So my plan on launch, for launch night, is I will try and do that. I'll have a backup shadow res set if it doesn't work, or if the Mother Shiraz fight is a bit of a shit show and for whatever reason people aren't doing it very well, then, you know, that might not work. But the strat that I just mentioned is usually for when you have the fight down and you're killing her fairly quickly, which if your guild is an experienced guild, and they know the tactics and this isn't their first rodeo, then it should be a fairly simple fight. And if you use that strat on launch, you'll be able to get, you know, upper 90th percentile parses, you know. You might even be able to get a 99 on the first release because everybody else will be using the shadow res. Most other people, the sweaties and the super high level rogues and raids and speedrunners will be doing that strat. Everyone in the guild in their guilds will have that neck. So that's my tip for Mother Shiraz. That's what I'm going to be doing anyway. If I remember correctly, you can also farm heavy junks box for Ravenholt for reputation for Insane in the Membrane title, which will release in Wrath in the Uldor patch. Those heavy junk boxes are worth a lot. Interesting. Mate, all these little tips and tricks. I love it. I love it. I never knew heavy junk boxes were going to be worth so much. Excuse me, burping into the mic. I like Diamoles because I can farm 30 to 35 minutes and then work for 30 minutes and so on. Exactly. That's the big benefit to Mana Tombs as well, for those who don't have herbalism and alchemy, of course, to get the most out of the Diamoles now. As you said, you get the procs, so you need alchemy. But yeah, that's really, really nice. The Mana Tombs video, farming guide video is almost done. All of the sequencing is done. The intro animation, the intro footage and clips is done. I just have to do the voiceover for it, which I'll be doing sometime over the coming week, and then I'll release that. Then I need to do a phase 3 gearing guide, and I think in order to grow the channel, I'm going to do a massive, like 1 hour long, every class. I'll just show the phase 2 BIS and the phase 3 BIS and how to swap the sets so that you don't lose DPS. That'll be good to grow the channel. And then I'll do a comparison video, MTSV comparison video with updates on little tips and tricks. Like, for example, the first chest in SV now being a combat chest. And any other little innovations that have come along. Okay, so it's 2 gold to make a fell iron bar now, but they're going to be 10 gold in rat. That's 5x. Yeah. I love that. I love that. We've got 650 gold. Let's see what hate spots are. I don't think I'll worry too much about buying fell iron now because I'll be mining so much of it. I'm just going to save everything I mine instead of buying it, and I'll just keep going into phase 3 stuff. The demon slaying elixirs, I'll probably just end up using all of those myself. I just want to buy them cheaper now. Do you think Lanceros is better than the Gladiator offhand? It's not, technically. It's about 10 DPS less. But 10 DPS isn't huge. I mean, to put that into perspective, the BIS rings, Ring of 1,000 marks, and Corona's Signet Ring from phase 1 are, when you upgrade those to the TK Bandit the Ranger General and Ring of Lethality from SSC, each of those rings is about a 10 DPS upgrade, so it's quite a minor upgrade. Now, 10 DPS is still 10 DPS, The only reason why I haven't gotten it is because I'd need to do PvP. My ping has been very bad. I'm not really a PvPer. It's hard to find groups on PvE servers, and it's not my focus. I'm just going to wait until phase 3 drops when those items become available to buy with honor. And then I'm going to have the season 2 sword in my offhand at the start of the phase. And then mongoose it. That's my plan. But it's technically best is season 2 PvP. And you know what happened, right? I logged over to buy heavy netherweed bandages. I didn't buy them. For SR, neck, cloak, enchant equals 95 SR. Then get a PvP or use it to... Oh, Shadow Res. Yeah, the neck pendant of Caribor you're going to get from once you kill Rage Winterchill in Hyjal. You finish the attunement for Black Temple and you get the Caribor neck, which is very good. Shadow Res neck, although the pendant of Shadow's End is also very good. So for Shadow Res, Bendalat says neck plus Shadow Res cloak plus the cloak enchant is 95. Then get a PvP or use a token for the headpiece and stuff of Void Sphere plus 20 SR, and then get a pair of pants with 3 gem slots and put 3 spheres. Yeah, like Skulker's Greaves, for example, from Kara is perfect for that. And put 3 spheres and a leg SR enchant. There you go. Ben the Lad said it best. That is a solid strat. Solid strat. Fury is taken. Is there a way to skip the first room in UBRS so that you don't need to kill all the mobs to open the door? There was. I tried to do this. I couldn't get it to work, and I'd already been killing them, and it doesn't take that long to kill them, so I didn't really mind doing it. But Jesus. So how you did that was, now apparently they patched this, but when I did it, I tried it once, and when I did it, I did manage to get the glitch where you can see through the wall and you can see nothing, like it's just grey soup. So that was promising, but apparently they patched it. But then again, people say that, but when you're dealing with things like this, it's so niche and it's such a specific thing to do that there's a high likelihood that it's still possible. So basically what you do is you buy Elixir of Giant's Growth, and you go into UBRS, open the front door, you go through you don't go into the rooms, you go straight through to where the second door is, and when you're facing that door, there's a room on your left and there's a room on your right. You go into the room on your right, kill those guys in there, and you jump up onto the crates. And when you get up onto the crates with your normal character model, you can get up onto the crate and you can go into the wall, and there's a little hey, we're back. So yeah, you push yourself wedge yourself into that small space and against the wall, drink the Elixir of Giant's Growth, relog, and when you log back in, because your character model is technically too big to be like legally allowed in that space, what the game client would do it would push you through the wall, and you would glitch through the wall, and you could just jump then and be in that hallway. That was how it used to work. I tried it once, but the problem was I thought I was being clever, and I used the engineer. I didn't buy any Giant's Growth, and I didn't want to go back and buy them and go all the way back down, because I'd already done multiple trips back to Shatran, back again for various things that I needed while I was trying to figure out how to get into UBRS until I finally got it to work. But I couldn't be arsed doing it again. So I thought I was being clever, and I used my engineering trinket, and I put myself into the wall, and then I would pop the trinket, and when it gets right to the end of the cast bar, you Alt F4, and when you log back in again, if you did it right, what you'll have one of the NG trinket buffs guaranteed, but the trinket itself won't have cooldowns. You can do it again, and there's 3 buffs that increase your size. There's I think 4 buffs. There's the Tauren model. You can become Tauren, which makes you bigger. You can become like shadowy, shadow side, I think it's called, something like that. And that makes you slightly bigger. You can become light side, that makes you slightly bigger, or you can just get a buff that says you feel larger somehow, and that makes you slightly bigger. So there's 4 buffs you can get. So I used the NG trinket trick, got it to proc, made myself bigger. And when I logged back in, I was stuck in the wall and I could see the gray soup, and I tried to get across and around, but whatever way I did it, I jumped and I moved backwards. Problem with that is you can't cancel those NG trinket buffs. They're not something you can remove. So they have a 1 hour, death doesn't remove them, nothing. So I couldn't be arsed trying it again. And I got Fell Striker not long after that, so it may still work. But if you YouTube UBRS wall glitch, you should find a video that shows you how to do it, and you can test it yourself. $1,400 heavy junk boxes are needed for Exalted. $1,275 for humans because of Diplomat, yeah. So it's lots of gold. Who doesn't want to have a title Insane next to their McBacon the Insane? I do like the sound of that. But there are so many other things. There's so much possible content to make. I can't do that. There's some people. I'm going to make a DK as well in Wrath. So I'm going to have an Unholy DK and my Rogue. And between the 2 of them, there'll be just way too much PvE content to put out. Okay, let's do a double check. Gloves, boots, belt. Yep. Okay, we're good on that front. Okay, we logged out fine, so we're going to start fresh. And we've got 3 lockouts. That's good. Thanks, man. You're very welcome. For Shadow Res, there are 2 numbers you want to hit. 172 unbuffed or 145 Shadow Res. Try to land on one of them. Numbers in between are useless since resists work in 25% increments. Interesting. I didn't know that it was incremented, that there were breakpoints at 25%. That's really good to know. You're only gone for 5 seconds, yeah. Yeah, it's 172 unbuffed that our guild has required us to have. Problem with junk boxes, they're not very liquid, and there are better farms than pickpocketing. Exactly what Bendelat said. But it's, hey, you know, if I was ever to make a video, you know, top 25 most obscure gold farms, that would definitely be in there. And I didn't know about that farm, and I always love learning about new things. There's just so much to learn with this game. There's so many things. Okay, no chest left. We got the chest right. Is it locked? Oh, it's not locked. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You know what I think we're going to do? I think we're just going to go now and see if we can do this ASAP. I'm pretty sure that those water lilies will phase out, and then when we get to the chest, they'll phase back in, but we can always distract them, and we can stay on this side of the chest. We got our doubles the damage taken from all sources. That's so annoying. Okay. I mean, I broke my own rule, which was you wait for them to be in a certain position, but I just wanted to test if we could indeed get it as soon as we spawn in. So we'll just be patient and we'll just have to wait for that one. Wasn't there a glitch in Upper Blackrock where you could summon double rend? Interesting, I never heard about that. For me, SV farming is still easier with 2 accounts and 2 rogues. Oh, for anyone it would be, you know, and way faster as well. But the thing about that is it wouldn't be BIS. So, you know, obviously you log in on both accounts, you go in, you party up with your 2 rogues, you pull with 1 rogue from whatever chest, and you have the other rogue in stealth just right beside it. You open it straight away, you vanish with your first rogue, and then you use the second rogue who opened it and his vanish cooldowns to pull the next pack and rinse and repeat. However, you'll get through SV and hit your 5 lockouts because both rogues are in there. Now, if you're working from home, sure. Now you can turn 1 SV into the same amount of time that you do MT. But if you really wanted to make money with 2 accounts, you would double mana tombs. You'd go in with your 1 rogue, burst it out in 30 minutes, log over your second rogue, and burst out 5 runs in 30 minutes. Then you're going to be making close to 600 gold per hour. Even more, probably 700 gold per hour, something like that on average. That would be the best way to utilize 2 accounts. Come to think of it, I have a second account and I have a level 70 female Blood Elf Rogue at 60 with both rank 14 weapons and rank 14, not rank 14, but the blue PvP gear. But I also want to start playing on Warmane and get a rogue leveled up on Wrath, the private server, so that I can make videos for before Wrath comes out and show people how to do Kara farm and all those kind of shenanigans. And I also need to do that to theory craft my my potential burst for world first 70 rogue, because I have a couple of ideas that I've never seen anybody do before that, if they work, will be like insanely fast leveling. But I won't be streaming any of that because I don't want anybody else to see it and then use it. Okay, we're gonna go right away. Oh no, we can't. We don't have our things. Let's just move through and we'll get it on the way out. I know, but since I work from home, for me, the break allows me to work. Exactly. Yeah, it's tasty. Very tasty. My 2 rogue setup doesn't require gear, just 2 level 70. There you go. There you go. Yeah, spot on, brother. Spot on. You're making me want to resub my second account now. I wonder if I streamed that though, would it be against TOS? Those kinds of shenanigans using 2 accounts? Possibly. as long as you don't send key from one account to the other, like the 10 Shamans PvP. If you alt tab, then it's fine. Ooh, double run spawn guide. Ooh, thank you, bro. I am gonna juice that up. Double. So then you have 2 shots at Fell Striker, right? But you'd really want. You'd want minimum 2 rogues to do that. You'd want one each. Yes, yes. Ooh, be careful with that. That's an exploit. Yeah. I won't be streaming that or making guides on it then. I got banned once already just before TBC. I don't want to do it again. Luckily, it was only a 10-day ban and it lifted the day before TBC went live, and I had already farmed Spine Sever, so it didn't bother me. But it could have been bad. Don't let Daddy Blizzard find you doing that. Yeah. Yeah, big time. When I was in here, I realized that it was probably possible to do this farm, the double chest farm, with every class. It just required some shenanigans like invisibility pots and stuff like that. But I knew it was definitely possible to get the chests with druids. Now, I don't have a druid. And at that time, I thought it was probably a good idea to grow the channel in order to incorporate. I thought it was probably a good idea to incorporate other classes and make videos showing those classes how to do things that nobody had figured out how to do before. But I didn't have a druid. Now, I can neither confirm nor deny whether a druid from the chat reached out to me and gave me his account. Like I said, I can neither confirm nor deny that that happened. And I can also neither confirm nor deny that I did in fact use that account with a level 70 druid to make that video. There is, however, interestingly enough and very coincidentally, a video on my channel showing druids how to open the chests in SV. But I can neither confirm nor deny that that druid was not my own druid or an account that I owned. However, I may or may not have been on stream discussing that, and I may or may not have been talking to that chatter on stream. And chat may or may not have told me that that's highly against TOS and will get you permabanned. And I may or may not have instantly ended that stream and decided not to pursue account sharing that I can neither confirm nor deny happened or not. Did you check Simonized videos about Rogue Min Max for TBC and Wrath? I always check Simonized videos whenever I want to understand a particular context of Rogue. I'll type in whatever keyword I think for that context, and then I'll see if Simonized has made a video on it, and I'll learn as much as I can from him. He's probably my favorite content creator. And I taught him how to do the, well, I found world's first spine server in the pre-patch and obviously proved that you could get TBC epics in the pre-patch. And then he jumped into Zul'Gurub. My account was banned at the time. And when my account got banned, I instantly made a second account because once I had found Spine Sever and realized that you get, oh, didn't really mean to do that, but whatever. Once I'd found Spine Sever and realized that the how would you say, stipulation for getting TBC lockboxes didn't have anything to do with zones. It had everything to do with level. Any mob that was over level 60, so 61 and above in the pre-patch, would drop TBC lockboxes. So then it was just a matter of finding the most densely populated zones with level 61 mobs. And initially I'd gone to Blasted Lands, and I'd also gone up to Western Plague Lands and zoomed around the Scarlet area there. But the best place in the open world was, and that was Blasted Lands, where I found Spinesever. But then I realized that you could do it in instances as well. And when I was going through the different raids, I realized Zul'Gurub would be the best. And I was about to go into Zul'Gurub and start making that guide, and my video got banned. So I immediately made a second account, boosted a rogue, and leveled her to 60 as fast as possible. But in the time that it took me to do that, Simon Eyes had already gone into Zul'Gurub and picked pockets and made a video. And I jumped onto his stream and I was like, no! And he was like, bro, thank you for the video. And we had a laugh about that. So I like him. I like Simon Eyes a lot. He's my favorite dude. And he's so knowledgeable about Rogue. Now, he's not a dungeon farmer. He's not a gold farmer. The way he makes his money is he flips things on the auction house. So this niche stealth farming, rogue stealth farming, is what I focus on because it doesn't overlap with any other streamers, and I'm pretty good at it, and I figured some things out about it. So this is kind of the foundation of my content. But whenever I want to understand rogue talent builds, strategies, I mean the AoE farming, Fell Striker, AoE raid farming, I learned from Simon Eyes. The Kara farm I learned from Swole Benji years ago. So yeah, I'm a big Simon Eyes fan. Okay, we do have this up on our belt, so we're good, but we have to wait for these guys. Does Spinesever only come from junk boxes? Yes. Spinesever and the Nightblade, that's the only place to get them. It is, and it remains to be, the most undervalued item on the auction house. I don't think there's a single item in the game that's more undervalued than that. It's still really, really good, even in this phase. It's not that far behind Arcanite's Steam Pistol, and you can pick one up on my auction house for like 8 or 9 gold. It's insane. Okay, we're gonna resap. And then we're gonna pull straight away. Spinesever was only 1 or 2 DPS behind Sun Fury Bow of the Phoenix in the last phase, this one, which was technically Biss, and Spinesever was like 1 or 2 DPS behind it, and you could pick them up on the auction house for like 2 digits gold. And they're still, how much are they going for now? 12 gold? Oh no, auction 100. Oh my god, fuck off. Fuck you. Excuse my language, I'm just tilted. Is there a spell hit cap for pickpocket? I usually gem like 48 and I get 1 resist every 200, 300 mobs. So there was a lot of theory crafting on the Rogues Diary Discord. And if you look at spell hit cap for other classes, the working theory on the Rogues Diary Discord was it was like 30 something or 40 something. So with 48, you should be 100%. But because pickpocket is listed as a physical magic school spell, which is a very strange subcategory of magic school, physical, I don't know if the same spell hit values apply to it, but my hunch is that they do. So yeah, the one resist in 2 to 3, it should actually be one resist in 100 mobs, because there's always a baseline 1% resist, even if you get the hit cap. So 1%, it should be one in every 100 mobs.
So you're good.
I have a full spell hit set here in my auction house, in my bank, but I don't pickpocket anymore. It's just, I don't bother. You can get a gem here and there, but the amount of time it takes is annoying. In MT, it's much easier because you don't need to carry around a second set. You can just pickpocket because you're level 70, they're 63, 64, right? So you're already almost at hit cap. Plus, in MT, you don't need your vanish. So you've got 2 vanishes. Like you got a vanish and a prep, and then you can vanish again once it comes off cooldown. So you have multiple vanishes that you don't really use in MT. So pickpocketing in MT is really easy. So you just get to the end of the dungeon like we normally do it, and then you can just pickpocket every mob on the way back. And that can bolster out your run to, 45 minutes to 45 minutes ish. But the annoying thing is you've got like 100 lockboxes in your bag afterwards. And even if you make a macro like this where I can just spam click this and it will just automatically target lockboxes in my bags that aren't opened, and then unlock them, and then it will automatically target the open box and then open it and then move on to the next one. But it's still just like 5 minutes of just clicking one button to get nothing. So I don't bother with it anymore. It's boring to me and not worth it. There's always a 1% chance of pickpocket being resisted even with max spell hit. Boom. There you go, exactly. Simonize is the GOAT. Yes, he is. I just listed a full DME farm and it's 886 gold. Holy shit. How much would it be without the procs? What do you think the proc value is of that farm? Because that is really tasty. And I am kind of considering now, I have a second rogue, level 70, that I'm not using. I could turn him into herbalism and alchemy. I was about to go, but we need to wait for one more go around before we can pull. $8 or $9 gold, that's crazy. It's 1800 on my auction house. Okay, it was 8 or 9 gold, but I just moused over this one and it's 197. Now, the last time somebody bought one, I advised somebody in my guild, Fisty, to buy one. Or he asked me, I can't remember, but in any case, I pushed him towards Spine Sever. And it was double digits in gold. It cost him very, very little, if I remember correctly. And I remember looking up on the auction house, and it's in one of my videos, actually. Okay, 1 second. I think it's in the latest actual video I made, which was a phase 2 base gearing and gemming guide, everything you need to know to roll in phase 2. And they were ridiculously cheap then when I did that recording. I'm curious now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to find it. Doxed 416 just followed. Nice one, brother. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Yeah, this seems everything you need to know. To Rogan TBC, okay. Okay, they're actually, no, they were 166 gold when I made that video. And they're 197 now. Okay, so. But I mean, when you consider it's very, very close to BIS, it's ridiculously good value. I must ask Fisty what he paid for it. I don't think it was that much. Wait. We've done all this already. Yeah. What am I doing? That was the chest we were going to get on the way out. No, if I could get signs ever for 10 gold, that's nuts. No. That was my mistake. That was my mistake. I looked at the disenchant value when I moused over. I knew they were dirt cheap, and I knew they went under 100 at some point, but no, 10 gold is crazy. Man, your video made me so much gold, lol, TY. Ah, yeah. Docs, thank you for the follow, and you're very welcome. I'm so happy that rogues get shit on in TBC, even though we're not that bad as DPS. And the hate for rogues, you just see the hate come out. All that classic resentment build up. And now people have an excuse to shit on rogues. And when I wasn't doing hero, I've always raided with my guild, but when I try to get heroics, especially early on, people are like, lol, why would I take a rogue? And every heroic I did, I was either top DPS on all the bosses or second DPS, you know, so people like to shit on things. So I love that we have access to two of the best gold farms in the game, and there's no open world competition, and we can just get rich and buy everything we want. It's so good. I found a spine and sold it for a quick 900 gold. Was surprised it still went that high, yeah. I wanted to sell mine to try and get enough gold to buy Blink Strike. So I listed this one in the pre-patch. This is the world first spine sever. This is the one I got in the pre-patch. And I listed it on the auction house for like 10,000 gold and tried to get it sold so I could just turn it into a Blink Strike at 70. I eventually bought Blink Strike for 6.2k on day 6, I think. So I got my Blink in the end, and I'm glad that I didn't sell the Spine Sever because it's sentimental to me now. And I always have it in my bags. Here it is. I'm never without my trusty Spine Sever. Besides, I need it for my elite set. So I got my Bloodfang drip set, right? But I have basically like any of the items that you can't see, like rings and stuff, I finagled them around so that my gear score is elite 1337. And Spine Sever is a part of that, so it's in there, immortalized in my drip set, and I will never leave it. Okay, what have we got here? Locked. $25 seconds. We're gonna go for an NG pull here. going to go for an NG pull, and if it fails, we're just going to whatever and go and get the second chest, go and get the mines, and then get it on the way back out. This is looking perfect for timing. It's very nice. I got 120 elixir from crafting 100, so 20 elixirs. That's like 100 to 110 gold. Out of 800 gold, that's like 12 to 15%. Well, 12.5%. That's a really nice bump. But just the, so you're doing 5 runs and you're getting, without procs, you're getting like say 700 gold an hour. 100 mushrooms, 100 green file, 200 grams. Check the AH in the server. Holy, bro. Shit. I'm gooning over your DME stats and I missed my shot at the chest. So a full 5 resets in Diamond released is 1 stack of dream foil, 1 of shrooms, and 2 of Brahm's blood. Yeah, I'm finding it hard to find group for heroics. They skip over rogues for any other DPS. Yeah, that's insane. That's sick. Yeah, that is insane. I think I might go herbalism then. Ah, we didn't get it. We were so close. I should have gone further back into the wall and frozen them there. I probably would have had that extra 20 milliseconds that I needed to open that chest. But that's okay. We'll get on the way back out. Getting the elixir master to craft the demon slaying and tip him. I was thinking of just leveling. I have a level 70 rogue. I was thinking about just leveling him herb alch and making him an elixir master. The prices should go up next phase, and especially in Sunwell. In Hyjal, all bosses are demon, and in BT you have 3 demons. Bro, this is nice. Man, I think I'm gonna get that second rogue and turn him into a herber. For real. Because if that's the Biss gold farm and it stays Biss until the end of the expansion, then I can go enchanting on McBacon and get that extra 20 DPS from the ring enchants. Because I am out here trying to parse, that's for sure. Yeah, how many demon slaying do I have at the moment? 167. If all bosses in Hyjal are demons, and in BT there's 3, that's gonna be 5 and 3. That's 8. So that's, let's just call it 10 because we're gonna get a wipe. We're gonna get a wipe or 2 at the start. Now we very rarely wipe our guilds after the first couple of weeks. So let's just say 10 to be safe. Oh shit. $10 per reset. $10 per reset. That's how many weeks is it's like 12 weeks, right, for a phase. That's 120 we need. I need for myself. And what have I got? 167. Okay. Okay. We're set for my own personal. Get the fuck. For my own personal uses, we can start selling them as soon as we make them. Although I don't, you're making that now, but maybe that's because the farm is forgotten, not very well known, and the value of it may drop. See, the thing about MT and SV is it's just a nice solid 300 to 350 gold per hour, you know, guaranteed, you know, for the rest of the expansion basically. And as the price of gems drop, it's counterbalanced by the price of scrolls and primal waters and primal fires and primal earth going up, and super mana potions going up, and enchanting mats going up. So it peaks and troughs, but it continues to just pump out nice gold. It's an investment to level alchemy as well. But it'll probably, if you're making that now, what server are you on as well? That's the other thing. I need to do the math for my server. Well, let's have a look now. We can figure out. I did a scan yesterday. Crom's Blood are selling 142. Yeah, Elixir's is selling. So what do you need? One of those and one of those. Ghosties. How many ghosties did you say you were getting? Hold on. Let's see if I can remember. Don't tell me. They're all inside. There can be one inside after you come out of after you jump down into the garden and you move through to the first room inside. There's a satire in stealth there. You kill him. There can be a ghost mushroom right there in the corner on the right. If it's not there, there could be another one on the opposite wall. There can also be one in the top room on the left side beside the ramp. There can also be one up on the top platform where Leothandris is. There can also be one at the bottom of that room. Then you go down to where Pusilin is, where the back door is. And there can be a ghost mushroom in that room as well. 4 ghosts, 4 Grom's Blood nodes, and 2 Dreamfoil. Yeah. So that's 20 gold a reset from the and 2 Dreamfoil, 4 Grom's Blood. The Grom's Blood you get like on average, what is it? 2.5 on average per node. So 4 times 2.5 is 10, and they sell at 1 gold each. So that's 10 gold. 4 ghosts, they're almost 5 gold each. That's 20, so that's 30 gold. And then 2 Dreamfoil, that's about 2.5 each. 5 instances, 20 Dreamfoil, 20 Dreams, and 40 Groms. But then you turn them into Elixir of Demon Slaying, and what was the other one you said? Oh, and then you just sell the Dreamfoil, right? Okay, 90 gold, 90 silver each. Yeah. 20 dream foil at 90 silver. 18 gold. 20 elixir of demon slaying. 550. 55, 110 gold. 110 gold plus 18 and the rest of the grams. Oh my god. We're looking at like 150 gold. And then you turn them 20 elixirs with no proc. Hold on, are you sure your math is right on that? Because if you have 20 elixirs, no, how much? It depends on how much they are on your server, I suppose. On my server, they're 550 each, so 20 of them is 110 gold. Let's call it 150 once you sell off the extra dream foil. 20 dream foil at 0.9 is 18. So that's 128. And then you sell the other grams. How much are grams blood? $142. So 20 of those is 14. That's 28. So we're at 128. That's 156 gold. 156 gold an hour. How are you making 800 gold? Unless I'm missing something. I've got 2 lockouts left. We'll leave that out. Yeah. 156 gold on 5 runs. That's 35 minutes, not 1 hour. Yes. Then I could log my other rogue and do mana tombs, which is giving me like 350. That would bring it up to 500 gold an hour. Then again, why wouldn't I just run mana tombs on my second rogue and get double 300 to 600, double 350 to 700? Still, it's a very nice side hustle, especially if you have an alchemist and a herbalist, and you get to be back in the beautiful Dire Moles. God, I love that dungeon. Oh. Oh, what happened there? Oh, it's not locked. Lovely. And we've got all our stuff ready. So we'll swag that one. With everyone going NG and Wrath of the Lich King, will potion injector prices go up? I don't know. Somebody tipped me and they're like, you should make potion injectors. Use your fell iron to make the casings and then just use the super manas that you get from the chests into injectors and sell them. You can make good money that way. And I looked at his numbers and it did look pretty good. But I never got into it. I'm going to gouge him and then I'm going to blind him just to buy myself a little bit of extra time. Not that I really need to. We're going to go deep this time. We didn't need to go deep because it's not locked. It's guaranteed crack. The only downside to reactivating my second account would be that I would only be streaming Mana Tombs, all day, and I'd be making a ridiculous amount of money. But it's quite a boring farm to stream. Like SV is much more interesting to watch. I feel. I don't know. Tell me how you feel. Like, would you rather watch someone spamming MT back to back for an hour or SV back to back for an hour? Okay, that's locked. But we gotta wait anyway. Let's just kill them. I watch you for you, broski. I'm here to stay whatever you stream I'm in. I love it. I love it. I'd rather watch SV, but I'd rather do MT. Got you. I hear you. I hear you. Let's see what kind of a burst we can get out of this. $1.7k, not great to be honest. But we did get a coil fang armament, so that's alright. SV since I have MT on lock, but I still struggle with SV. MT is less stressful. Why did I delete mining? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, SV MT is less stressful and it's less annoying. Like getting a lockpick fail is very annoying. And getting the chest bug where you can't open it is very annoying. Although that's less of an issue now because we can combat that first chest, and that was mainly the chest that happened on. But that's very tilting. Am I going soft in the head? Where's the other mine? Did I get it already? No. There it is. She was taking a while to load up. I was very, very close and I hadn't loaded up on the minimap. Mobs randomly teleporting to you in SV. Yeah, even though you did everything right, used to tilt me as well. Yeah, that can... Yeah, and it's a lot more finicky with the patrols. There's a lot more margin for error. For sure. In SV. But it's also a lot more satisfying. The click vanish chest will always be fun to do. The double, getting the chest and the two mines in one big pull with the bog lord is very satisfying. So it's more annoying and it's more satisfying. It's a romantics stealth farm, I think, this one. Let's see if the frog is close. Oh, he is close. Don't hop, my friend. My friend. Oh, and you get to be a bit of an Ace Ventura in here as well. You get to talk to the animals and have them help you out. Yeah, we're not getting that. Not today. We're only at 150 gold though. 3 runs. Yeah. Alrighty then. Man, I don't know how many times I watched Ace Ventura growing up. $149 gold. We really need we need a couple of nice gems here to lift this. Oh, nice. Not locked. That's cool. I know what happened there. Can anyone guess what happened there? It's the oldest trick in the book. I was in combat. My combat set after I killed those 2 guys. This is the thing that used to fuck me up so much when I was a few months ago when I was spamming this place, forgetting to swap my specs. Another annoyance about SV, but that's really down to the player. Some people are just, I don't know, they just lock it in and they learn it and they never have that problem. But I'll be playing classic when I'm 80. I'll be back in here. I'll still forget to swap my. I'll have an excuse then though. Early onset Alzheimer's. That'll be my excuse. Well, the good news is that we didn't actually use either of our essentials. So we can just do that pull again. And our vanish just came off cooldown, so. The movie now has multiple sensibility warnings, yeah. Yeah. Mages are going to make tons of gold while they level in Wrath because they can level through Upguard, keep solo leveling. Yeah, I did that. Living Flame, a Living Bomb. So good. So much fun. Yeah, just kite them around the middle room, the first room, around that circle, and just the bombs just poof, poof, poof going off and just bursting them all down. Yeah, mages are going to be insane levelers and gold farmers in Wrath. But don't you worry, we will rise. The salty mage tears when they get to Nax and they hit their arcane explosions and their blizzards, and their names are 3 or 4 down from the bottom because there's just yellow bars with rogues just spamming Phantom Knives. The disgruntled pissy mages, they'll be bitching so hard. Fuck rogues. We are the best DPS class, AoE DPS class in Wrath. It is us. We'll make them suffer. We'll make them cry. Fire Mage is going to be a thing again. Yeah, it will almost make me want to play Fire Mage, but I didn't really like raiding Mage in Wrath, to be honest. I wasn't that into it. I like the sugar. I did enjoy the sugar rush of TBC Arcane Blast Mage last time around. I mean, it's a lot of fun when you do it first time, but it gets old quick. One button spec, you know. It gets pretty boring. And while it's always nice to parse with any class, you do feel... I remember getting a 99 parse on Ragnaros in Classic last summer with my Frost Mage. And, you know, I was happy that I got a 99, but at the same time, it was like, you've got Mind Quickening Gem. You've got, you know, the best gear that you can possibly have. You just hit Frostbolt. You were lucky enough with RNG not to get hit with Wrath of Ragnaros, so you could just keep firing out your Frostbolts. You just had the best gear. You got good RNG and you got good crits. So you got the 99. That's how you get a 99 as a mage. Just get the crits and have the gear. And I suppose you could say the same thing is true for any other class, but it's just not one button, you know? You have to work for your parses as a rogue or as a warrior, especially in TBC with all of the melee punishing mechanics and the movement and all that kind of stuff. Now, we have the right stuff. We have the right stuff. We're going to distract these guys. Nice one. We didn't get a resist. That's good. Okay, we're a little bit early. That's kind of annoying. I don't know what happened there. I think I need to change my pants. That was close. Yeah, we fat-fingered Shadow Step again. Again. Anyway, we made it. And we got netted by the engineer. But we got out of it, and we didn't get double netted, luckily. Okay, it's locked. We've got 3 minutes, so we're going to go straight through. Get it on the way back. And warriors with unrelenting assault build prot to solo botanica. I mean, yeah, and DKs as well. The stuff we can do with DKs, I can't wait. So they're gonna level super efficiently. Frost DKs can farm Utgard too. Nice. I didn't know Frost DKs could solo Utgard. As we level, sick. When do you think this version of WoW will be discontinued? Never. Yes and never. Because here's what's going to happen. If Blizzard, this is a classic game. Like Tetris, Mario, you know, Age of Empires 2, Heroes of Might and Magic 3. There will be people playing this game. It's a classic game, like in the same way that there are classic films and classic music. It's timeless. If Blizzard ever discontinues service for this game, people are just going to make private servers. Classic is never going to die. You know, obviously, eventually, at some point, it will die. In the way that people only watch Citizen Kane now when they go to art school, you know, or go to film school. And it becomes this very niche thing. Even though it's like 100 years old, it's still famous. World of Warcraft. That's what we're a part of. That's what we're a part of. History. It's never gonna die. So I only missed 2 items for full best this phase. Van braces. Wow, that's a strange thing to miss. That's a strange item to miss. And Ranger Ring. Oh, I was so happy. I got Ranger Ring. I think it was the first raid. I lost Talon, as I mentioned to you before. I lost Talon to Frekaton, the mage in my guild. And I think it was either the first raid or the second raid. Might have been the second raid. And I was thinking of what to SR. And you know in TK, the SR choices in TK aren't very good for a rogue. You know, there's nothing that really jumps out as, except for Warp Spring Coil, of course. Everything else is like a kind of minor upgrade. And the tier pieces, but they're easy to get because they increase the drop rate for tier. I did that thing again, didn't I? Bro. No. Why do I do this? Well, it gives me time to have a smoke, so that's all right. Oh, you mean WoW Anniversary? It'll go through to Wrath and then it'll stop, and they will either start a fresh season of it again, or Classic Plus will have pulled the player base into it, and that will be the new thing. But no, they'll roll over. If they don't roll over a new server in Classic and go back for a fresh server release of World of Warcraft Classic, it's only a matter of time before someone goes, well, I'm just going to release a private server because you're not doing it. So, but Anniversary will roll through to Wrath and then it will stop there. That's what I think. Nice. You can save this when you decide to level a DK. I'm going to open it right now. Leveling guide. Ah, Sarth, my man. My man. The first video I ever made, the CG solo stealth farming guide, the one I mentioned earlier. Sarth was one of the first commenters on it. He was like, dude, this is legit. And it made me so happy that that he commented on my video. Yeah, I like him a lot. Got great content. Okay, I've liked that, and thank you for sharing that, bringing that happy memory back to me. Saw him on stream. It was on a, yeah, saw that stream. It was on a free roll, and you won it with a 91. Ah, there you go. You're on that stream. Exactly. Somebody had SR'd it. Somebody had SR'd it when I checked the, you know, because you're always looking for what items I want but are free. So I'm not going to SR them because I always get a shot at that item and I'll SR the things that I want more. So there were still things that I wanted more than that ring. And then, yeah, we killed Kale. And when it popped up, there was no SR in it. And I won it. Yeah. Yeah. It was one of my first pieces of gear. I think it might actually have been my first piece of gear from this expansion, apart from Belt of Deep Shadow. Sorry, not Belt of Deep Shadow, the NG goggles. I got my guild to summon me at 1 minute to midnight, or 30 seconds to midnight, as I was flying from SSC, because they weren't going to wait around. They were going immediately. And I got them to summon me, and I flew straight over to Zabrajin and talked to the NG guy. And I was just spamming him until I saw the goggle thing appear, and it appeared. And then I instantly accepted the summon, poured it back into the raid, and crafted the goggles straight away. And then gemmed them, and then I had everything ready. It was very, very satisfying. I'll be doing the same with, well, I won't be doing the same. Oh no, we get the upgraded goggles, don't we? I think we get the upgraded goggles next phase. I need to look into that. Anyway, enough dilly-dallying. How much gold have you made doing these runs, like over a week, let's say? It's hard to say at the moment because I just started doing these a couple of days ago. Like, actually, you can see in the top right there. But if you have a look, that 4 means lockouts. So for each of those, for that 4 is actually 20, right? So SV at the minute, that 5, sorry, that's 25 hours. Sorry, that's 25 lockouts. So five times that number, 3,720 is 10, 1,500, 1,851, 1,851 gold from SV. And the MT should actually be one number higher as well. But we got disconnected, which means our money looter add-on got reset. So we need to look back over the stream to do the calculations. But if we assume that the difference isn't going to be that great, Mana Tombs is 320 gold per hour. Let's just say there's 5 of them at 320. That's 10, 3,200, 1,600. So that's like just under 3.5 grand. And that's in the last yesterday and today. But we streamed a lot yesterday. Sorry, that was Saturday. Sorry, Saturday we streamed for like. Oh, you had to do that, didn't you? Oh well, we got the first chest, didn't we? And we got the second chest, and we got the moat, so we can reset. We don't mind that. We're not actually. The fuck? We're not actually losing that much time here because we got everything. So we would have to sneak through the dungeon anyway, so it's not too bad. So what did I say there? Yeah, we did 3 lockouts of MT and 3 lockouts of SV on Saturday. So that's 6 hours. And we did, I think, 1 lockout of each yesterday. Yeah, about that. Yeah, one lockout of each yesterday, and we did one lockout of SV earlier, one lockout of MT, and this is the second lockout of SV. So yeah, like, yeah, about 3,500 gold. That's like a full-on day of farming, and then a couple of just, you know, a couple of hours last night and a couple of hours the night before. Because I'm only farming MT and I feel like it's kind of slow. Are you sending the enchanting mats over to an alt, disenchanting them, and then selling them on the auction house? Because that's going to really bump up your profits. Just got the Seal of Ascension. Time to start figuring out the Fell Striker farm. Holy shit, you did it. You soloed it. My man, you legend. Wow, you don't fuck around. Like, it's like an hour ago, you're like, do you know if you can do it solo? It's like, yeah, I'm not sure, but probably. And now you got the seal. The Fell Striker, everything up to Rend is easy, but when you get to Rend, it's you'll see. He does like a Frost Tomb. Oh, bring your PvP trinket, and bring 10 free action potions and 10 super healing potions, and make sure you have bandages. You're going to need all those things. And when he comes, and your engineering belt if you have it, on the boots, when he comes out the gate straight away, you want to pop your free action potion immediately, because he can ice tomb you straight away, and that freezes you, and it does periodic damage over time. So it's nasty, and you don't want that to happen. So you want to pop your free action potion straight away. You know, and then pop your evasion, but save your cooldowns. I would say save your main cooldowns, like your Blade Flurry and your Adrenaline Rush. Save them for when Rend pops off, so that you have 2 targets, then Blade Flurry and Adrenaline Rush. And, you know, obviously macro your DPS trinket to your Blade Flurry, so you don't have to be hitting 2 buttons at once, and so on. But yeah, you'll be fine. I have a feeling you'll be fine, since you just did all that stuff. Okay, nice one. We got an unlocked chest, which is really nice. Talicite. It's a shame. But the things you have to do to open a chest in SV are a lot more satisfying when you pull them off, and there's a lot more shenanigans and trickery you can do with them, and you can find your own way to do the pulls. Like the latest innovation that I had found before I went traveling for the 2 months was that shadow step onto the water elementals. to create even more distance and get to the chest fast. Because when you start this farm, that's locked, but we do have prep, so we're going to go straight away. When you start this farm, you learn to fear those water elementals a lot, because if they get pulled into your pulls, 99 times out of 100 you're dead. Now at this stage it's more like 9 out of 10 times you're dead. You can, if you know how to move and what to do, you can sometimes get away with having them in the pull, but most of the time it just means you're dead. So when you learn to be afraid of them, so you learn to avoid them at all costs, and then at some point that kind of fades away a bit, and then at another point you realize, oh, I'm running back to a chest and I have a shadow step here, and there's the water elementals, but by the time you step to them, it takes them like half a second or a second to actually aggro to you, and you've got the speed boost from the shadow step, so it gives you enough time to create distance. And that has become like one of my favorite like micro maneuvers in the thing. But throughout the progression of the farm, there's been a dozen of those, some little thing that's been discovered, like the click vanish as well, like that are just so satisfying to do. And you just simply don't get that in MT. But MT is a really nice place to go when you get one of the more powerful item upgrades like Talon of Ashara, or if you get a DST or a Warp Spring Coil, because you immediately feel the difference in your power level when you're hitting those 3 packs. And you get to use the best and most fun rogue cooldowns to use, which are Blade Flurry and Adrenaline Rush, in your combats. So, and you just get to see those big chunky numbers and look at your damage meter and see, did I get a good burst or did I get a bad burst? So, So that's like 3.5k gold in 2 days? Yeah, I'd say 2 days is reasonable, because the first day we did way more than you would normally do. And yesterday we just did an hour or 2 or something like that. And then today we've done like an hour or 2, like two lockouts of each. So like, but they're 2 full days of farming. So yeah, 2 big days, 3.5 grand. But we liquidated that money and we put it into haste potions, which will go up by at least 25% and maybe even 66%. And we're going to hold on to them until phase 5, where they'll be worth the most. And then we're going to sell them. So by reinvesting the gold straight away into haste pots, we're making even more money out of it. So that, because the gold per hour I have put down there obviously doesn't count the investment into it. So if it's 3.5 grand now, it could be worth 7. That could be worth 6 grand if they go up to like 25 gold in phase 5. You're looking at about 6 grand there, like 3 grand a day. But you just have to wait a little bit for it, right? But yeah, like 3.5k raw in 2 days. Yep, I'm doing that. Yeah. And to be honest, they're so close in gold per hour. Just pick whichever one you can do the easiest, or whichever one you enjoy doing the most. And just go with that, because you're still going to be making insane money either way. MT is also a pickpocket. Yeah, I put like 1k gold into rare clots for more profit next phase, since bisque gear for casters is some crafting gear. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Solid. Okay, so we're now at 265 gold. So we didn't get any good gems out of that lockout. and we missed a couple of nodes. So if we had got I think there was 2 adamantite nodes I ignored because they were behind the bog lord, which is about right. 2 out of 5 runs is the average that you'll see of them at there. And we're at 265. If we had got those 2 nodes, we would be at 300 gold per hour. I mean, we could pick a pocket, right? Let's pick a pocket or 2. Okay, let's not pick a pocket or 2. Let's run away. Gonna do sprints now. Need to take a break. Good luck and thanks for the stream. Good luck and thank you for joining, and enjoy the sprints, brother. And congratulations on getting the Seat of Ascension so quickly. I wish you luck with Fell Striker, and I'm looking forward to hearing when you get it as well. But I also really need more gold for my epic flying. I've been lucky in 1 run getting 2 rare gems. Yeah, that's a nice run. That's a nice run, especially if they're the more valuable gems. So let's do this quickly. 265. Okay, I have a decision to make. I can either put in the true value of what I got, or I can put in 300, because if we had got the adamantite nodes, it would have been 300. But I think I'm just going to keep it what I myself got, so that the end result gold per hour factors in the casualness or laziness if you just want to skip the boglord veins, you know. I think let's just go with what we actually put in. So that was 265 gold. Okay, let's get our calculator out. Steamvault, 372 gold per hour, multiplied by 5. 1860 plus 265 equals 2125, and then we divide that by 6. 354.16 will round down. 354. Okay, so $354. Okay. Now we're gonna finish. And we're gonna do 5 lockouts MT. Yeah, the red ones. Oh, nice. Yeah. Living rubies. They're insane. They're like 125 gold on my server. But the green and blue is shit. Yeah. The orange is noble topaz is good. On my server, living rubies are about 125 gold. Noble topaz are about 80, 75 or 80. And then everything under that is, well, dawn stones are like, what, 25 or 30. Night's eye are 30. And then the rest of them are just vendor. Recently farmed Fell Striker, 101 runs, average 20 minutes. Holy shit, I got mine in 12 runs. That's but it has a 2% drop chance, so you should get it in 50. 101s is brutal. But hey, congratulations. You got Fell Striker. And, you know, it's a nice thing to be able to say you got it, you know, before the pre-patch, you know. It's more challenging with less gear. But I'm only sitting at like 1.5k at the minute, and I can't really seem to get more for some reason. There's a dip right now. On my server, the blues are like 3 gold and the greens are 4 gold. Yeah, same. We're probably on the same server. Thunderstrike EU.
Gold is welcome here.
Ah, your alliance. Right, right. Don't ever talk to me again. I just. Night Elf Rogue is my first love when it comes to race class combination. So I'm always either a Night Elf Rogue, Night Elf female rogue, or male undead rogue. There is no other. And I know humans have the sword spec. I don't care.
Farewell.
I only play ally because of Night Elf. Yeah, fair. Same reason. Dwarf Rogue on Dreamscythe NA. Ah, you're one of the dwarven rogues with your fine treasure and your beards. I'm leveling a troll warrior at the minute. Nice. Yeah, berserking is sick for warrior. If I was ever gonna roll a warrior, I would. It's hard to choose between troll male and orc female. I don't really like either of the options, to be honest. But if I was ever going to roll a warrior, actually, it'd be a human ally. This name McBacon, actually, I thought the most fitting race class combination for this was a male warrior, because they're just so funny with their little bow legs and their Lord of the Rings jokes and the just ego arrogance of their voice. I love it. So McBacon is actually a warrior's name. It fits for me the most anyway. And my Night Elf Rogue's name was always Sphinx, but it was taken this time around, but it's been Sphinx for a long time if I can get in first. Yeah, be right back. I'm going to have a quick smoke and then we'll do 5 runs MD. back. I appear out of the glitchy mist. Nicotine flowing through my bloodstream. Ready for an MT. Take these shoes off. Get a bit hot. It is 12:58 a.m. and it's currently okay. So the temperature is dropping. It's 26 degrees at night outside, so it's about 29 or 30 in my room. I think we'll just prep and go straight into another sprint. Let's do it quick. That's not that one. Oh, we got a worm chest. All right, cool. Spec swap. We won't be getting any tattoos today. We're getting better at this. Let's get a bit of mudfish in us. And scroll of stamina. It's nice. The mudfish gives us 20.4. Ah, because we're not in the harp spec anymore. It used to give us 22.8 because you get 10% extra attack power when you're in harp from this one. Which is really nice. Hopefully we'll get a warp spring coil proc immediately. Or pretty soon. Okay, we shouldn't be killing them. We're not supposed to be doing that. Okay, now we have the warp spring coil proc. Now we'll cloak and blade flurry. Not that we really needed to. $541 MS. What the hell? That's way higher than it should be. That's strange. I don't know why it's spiking so high. We normally have between 130 and 180. Okay, so we do have a chest straight ahead. So we're going to pick a few pockets. While we wait for that blade flurry to come off cooldown. Okay, we got a resist, which is rare. We did get the armor pen straight away, which is nice. Because then that happens. Oh, this is crazy, Ping. That's very strange. Okay, so you only have to go for chests and nodes. Yeah, that's it. In Manitombs, just chests and nodes. That's the whole farm. And in Steamvault, it's chests, nodes, and the gas cloud, which gives you, on average, minimum is 3, maximum is 5 motes of water. But the average is 4. So 5 lockouts times 4, you get 20, which turns into 2 primal waters, and they sell for 20 gold each. That's 40 gold. So that's the extra that you get out of SV. But in MT, you get extra green items from killing the packs. This is crazy, Ping. This is so weird. Since I got this booster. Oh, we didn't reset, did we? Yeah, since we got this booster, it's always been 130 to 180. So I don't know why it's spiking so high now. Maybe Blizzard's getting DDoSed. Maybe there's some choke point in the network. Okay, I thought you also had to pickpocket since gems can also drop from lockboxes. Well, interestingly, you get more gem drops straight from the pocket. So when you initially pick, you can get gems, like it'll say, you know, you looted living ruby or whatever from a pocket, and you can get them from lockboxes as well, but I've gotten way more gems straight from the pocket than I have from lockboxes. And when I asked other rogues on the Rogues Diary Discord if they had the same, they said yes. But in any case, that's a kind of internal point to your point. But the deal is that the chance that you get a gem is so low that I just don't bother doing it anymore. Because it's a lot of extra time. And then at the end of the dungeon, you have to open all the lockboxes, which is annoying. And you get very little silver from the lockboxes. You get a couple of super mana potions, but they're super healing potions, but they're worth nothing. So in terms of time investment for money returned, it's just not worth it. But yes, if you absolutely want to min-max your Mana Tombs farm, and you want to turn your 30 or 35 minute run or lockout into an hour or close to an hour, so that you can just keep rolling through, if you like to do it like that, then you can pickpocket. I used to in SV. I used to pickpocket when I was pushing the farm in every direction that I could go to see what I could min max out of it in terms of gold per hour, speed, trying different techniques for different pulls, and just trying to better understand the class and what it was capable of, and so on. At a certain point in that kind of research and development, I suppose you'd call it, I was min-maxing lockpicking and just pushing it, but you get a lot of resists in SV because they're higher level mobs, and then you need to have a full pickpocket set, and even then you get the 1% resist, and if you have to use a vanish in SV, it's bad because you really need your vanishes in SV for your chest pulls. And then if you have to use a vanish and you haven't gotten your chests, it sucks because you have to wait then for your vanish to come off cooldown. That's obviously including using a prep and all that. So it's if you get a vanish, it just slows down the rest of the farm. And if you do it without a vanish, you run the risk of dying. There are safe spots you can get to, but yeah, like I said, it's a lot of extra ball ache for not much reward. He's a little bit close for comfort there. Yeah, I'll just try chests and nodes. Yeah, chests and nodes are nice and handy. Oh, we forgot to spec swap. You can always tell if you forget to spec swap because the mobs just turn to you like that when you're walking past them, whereas if you're in subtlety, then they never do.
What is this? You must forgive me, but I was not expecting company. As you can see, we are somewhat preoccupied right now. But no matter, as I am a gracious host, I will tend to you.
So cheap shot, blind him, back to this target so we can get our combo points back. Blade flurry and slice and dice. was unlucky. Well, we did manage to loot that mob and get a green item off it, but I'm not going to come back in for just one vein. So we'll hit a reset now. And it looks like we're getting a pretty unlucky... have we done 3 runs already, or is one of those a dupe? Your strat is way different than mine. Oh, nice. Share. Teach me. For that 4 pull. Yeah, I sapped the closest one, open with cheap shot, blind the other guy, into slice and dice 2-point, blade flurry. If I have adrenaline rush, I'll use it, but I generally don't, because I use it on the bigger pack beforehand, or the Darkcaster pack, and it's a 5-minute cooldown, so that by the time we get up there, it's not ready, and you don't want to save it for the end, because that spawn can often just be in one of the other 2 places that you can easily get it without combat. So we just got unlucky there because, well, it wasn't that we were unlucky, we just weren't paying attention. We're being silly. The other way to do that one is, if you don't want to kill the 4 of them, you can sap one on the other side, further from the mine. Open up on one of the 2 closer. Blind the other one further away from the mine. Pull those 2 back, blade flurry them down, and then just vanish. And then you leave the other 2 up there. And you can just mine, and they're far enough away that it won't aggro from mining. And that's what I used to do when I had lower gear. But I like killing all 4 of them now, because it gives you extra chance at another green item and increases the gold per hour by a little bit. And when you have this gear, it's easy to do that. Yeah. Okay, we're out of poisons. Oh, we're really out of poisons. But please tell me your strat. I've learned so much from other rogues over these past months. I sat back mob closest to the node. Cheap shot the mob in front of him. Blade flurry and evasion if it's off CD, and then I focus the front right. Pop cloak of shadows around 50% on the first mob, which in most cases will get 1, if not both of the explosions. Once those are out, it's easy peasy. Yeah. Yeah, those 2. Okay, yeah. So you focus on, okay, so you're stacking the guys that explode, kind of like the mana worms. You stack the guys that can do an explosion, a magic explosion, so that you can cloak that. And then, yeah, so you focus on those 2 first. I get that. That makes sense. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. Yeah, we just pulled the 2. We weren't focused, and we should have just distracted those 2 that are patrolling toward us, and they wouldn't have pulled. And then it's easy peasy. I think we're probably good to go now. Exactly, I've probably done over 1,000 runs of this, and that is by far the most successful ones I have. Yeah, there you go. I love the 4 packs especially. There's much more variability in the ways that you can do the pulls. It's very satisfying. The most satisfying of just stealth farming in general is when you come up with some innovation or your own way to make it a little bit more efficient, and then you feel this sense, a real sense of ownership over the farm. Like there's something about it that's actually yours now, as opposed to just a generic farm. We got a chest left, and we're actually already in combat, which is nice. So we can go straight in here. We're gonna cloak his slow as soon as he pops it. Well, we can cloak now because he'll be dead in 5 seconds anyway. And then we're gonna get the most out of our blade flurry. We did get this singe, which is quite nasty because we can't cloak that. But I mean, we can always just pop a pot. $1.1k burst, pretty bad actually. Still at 633 MS. That's terrible. Am I missing something? Did we get a disconnect or something? 16 minutes. We can't have done 4 mana tombs. We can't have done 3 mana tombs in 16 minutes. This must be the 3rd run, surely. Yeah, it's awesome. Being a dwarf is so good for that bleed. Ah, you can remove bleeds. But not the Shadow Word Pain, right? Yeah, it's a shame that bleed, you only get it off those first mobs from the first 2 chests. After that, it's Shadow Word Pains from the Dark Casters and that poison. Or the Immolates. The Immolates aren't that big a deal. The poisons aren't that big a deal. The Singe is the second worst, and then the Shadow Word Pain is the worst. Oh. Almost missed the Addy. I'm just checking the Discord. Raid comps have not been put up yet. They're usually put up on a Monday, so they should go up soon enough. Then we'll know if we're streaming on Wednesday night or Thursday night or Friday. 8 p.m. Ah, bollocks. So one of the guys in our guild wants to put together a 5v5 group so that we can stack arena rating points and buy the gear ASAP. But they're going at 8 p.m. server time. It's just 2 a.m. my time. I can deal with like going to sleep a little bit earlier and then getting up at 2 a.m. to raid until 5 a.m. and then go to sleep again and then get up at 7:30 for breakfast and then do training. I can do that once a week. No problem. But twice a week, definitely not. Okay, I really should have been paying more attention. So, you know what, let's see if we can just leg it out of here. Probably not. Now we got both the chests. That's alright. And you know what? Kind of fits with SV as well because we skipped a couple of Boglord Banes. And yeah, if we lose one vein or so from an MT run because we're tired and sloppy, whatever, kind of evens out the gold per hour averages, I think. I was writing back to one of the guys in Disc actually. That's why I was not looking at what I was doing. What is our arena? We have 801 arena points. I think we just need honor though, don't we, to buy the season weapons in the next phase? They'll be available to buy with honor, right? 7 minutes. Hold on. Surely we didn't do 4 runs. Arena points for Merciless. Scavengers. The Stalkers are the worst mobs in my opinion. That are the worst to fight. Oh, I prefer, oh no, I think the Darkcasters are much worse. I mean, it's easy to kill them, but if you get 2 of them, or you don't cloak. Died so many times to random stuns late. Yeah, they can gouge you. Season 1 goes to honor in phase 3. Ah, so you do need arena points for Merciless. Okay. Okay. Well, that's okay. I mean, we already have a few. How much is it going to cost, you reckon? Like a couple of thousand? I should just smash out some arenas whenever I find someone who I can do it with. Yeah, I'll figure that out. That's not the end of the world. I mean, I don't really mind too much. We're going to be getting Blade of Savagery anyway at some point. How many MTs have I done, bros? 3, right? Or 2? Pretty sure you can't pull arena points ahead of phase 3 to get converted into honor. Okay. So I change up from season 1 rewards. Yeah, interesting. I don't know either. Let's do a bit of flexing. Did he have Talon in his offhand? No, he had it in his main. At the end of season 2, any remaining unspent arena points are converted to honor. 1 arena point equals 10 honor. Okay, so 8,010 honor. And Arena Season 2 gear will be available from Area 52 vendors at a discount with no arena rating requirement. Arena Season 1 gear will also become available from Honor vendors. From Phase 3 Blue Post announcement. Okay, I'm gonna... Okay. Why does it say we've done 4 lockouts? One of them's a dupe, surely. We've only done 3. Yeah. Because it says 6. Right, we've got 2 left. Okay. Still, 3 at 112 gold is pretty bad. It's like 40 gold each, just under 40 gold each. Like 37 gold, 33, 66. So unless we get a nice gem, a couple of blues, this MT is looking like it's going to bottom out the gold per hour average fairly heavily. Okay, I don't actually want to see the energy gains. And I actually want these to be a bit bigger. Sure. I've watched a couple of your rebroadcasts and you've mentioned training. What are you training for? I'm currently live at the Kung Fu Academy in China. It's called Kunyu Mountain. It's in a national park reserve. I got here on Wednesday 2 weeks ago. And I've paid for 6 months. I live on site. They feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And in between those, you train for about 3 hours. And you have a nice block of 3 hours off in the afternoon, an hour before lunch, and 2 hours or 2.5 hours on the other side of lunch. And then you go back to training. But the afternoon training is actually split up into two smaller time sections, and you only really train in the first one, and the second one is like optional cultural classes. So the training starts at like like 8:30 and goes until about 11. Yeah, breakfast 7:30, training 8:50 to 11:40. Then lunchtime is at 12, then training from 3 p.m. to 4:50. And then from 5:10 to 5:50 is optional class. Then dinner's at 6. And then you have the rest of the night off to stream World of Warcraft, of course. So I'll do this for 6 months. I've ordered nicotine patches. They're coming in a couple of days. We'll stop smoking again. I've stopped smoking. I've stopped many times in the past, so it won't be an issue. And we'll do this for 6 months. We'll get fit and good shape. And then after 6 months, we'll most likely go to a different school. There's a really good Wing Chun master who is the reason why I came to this school. And he's not here anymore. He left in March, and they didn't update the website, which is kind of false advertising. And they said that they're not going to update it. So you've got people arriving expecting to study under this really impressive dude, and he's not here anymore. So it's a bit of a shit show like that. And there's a lot of other things that are kind of disappointing. But I don't want to be cynical because the training's still going to be really good for me. And the people here are really nice. So I am going to make the most of it. But after 6 months, I'm just glad I didn't pay for the year, because the plan was to go for a year all in. And I decided at the last minute to just pay for 6 months and see how I felt after 6 months. Because you never know. I could get an injury or something as well. And then I don't want to be in a situation where I'm trying to get a refund from people and like all that mess. So I was just like, let me just pay for 6 months and see how I go. And I did. And the day after I paid for 6 months, I found out that this other master had opened up a school in southern China on an island. And it's got a swimming pool, and it's a much, much more modern facility. I mean, it's over 30 degrees in my room right now. We don't even have any aircon. People can't sleep. And you can't sleep properly, can't eat properly, and then you can't train properly. And loads of little bickering fights are happening around the place. Like, not like just minor conflicts, like bickerings, and people kind of at each other's throats because everybody's wrecked because nobody can sleep because it's so hot and the mosquitoes are out. So I know I sound like I'm whinging. I'm just being honest about the situation at the moment. But I know that in a week it's going to cool down and everything's going to be much better. So that's going to be nice. Am I enjoying it? I am enjoying it. I know that I am in the right place and I'm on the right path. I'm super grateful and happy where I am. A big part of that is, like, I have 2 dreams. One is to get super fit, healthy. I have 2 micro goals here. One is I want to be able to do a full like Van Damme style side split within a year, and to be able to just do a standing backflip and potentially a standing front flip. And we did acrobatics last week, and I did a standing front flip, but I had a spring map, and I did a backflip, but I was helped, and we were on a raised foam partition. So, but I did a backflip. So it won't be long before I can do those, which will be good. So that's really cool. And I know I'm just going to be in unbelievable shape in 6 months, and even better in a year. And whenever I do go into training, I've done various different types of training over my life, but whenever I start into training and get into it intensely, I'm always in such good humor, really good form. You know, if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, or you're a little bit blue, or you're a little bit red, after training, you don't feel as blue, you don't feel as angry, you don't feel as anxious. Everything about your negative emotional system just gets dissipated when you train. And you're much fitter, stronger, healthier, happier in yourself, and that confidence seeps through and emanates out of your physicality into your emotions and how you deal with people, and you're just a better version of yourself. So I'm really excited about how far I can push that. Now, three minutes. And then we're done. But yeah, this has been a very bad run in terms of RNG. This is like a bottom of the barrel run. 146 gold is really bad. Oh, we've only got one run left. So looks like this is going to be... Yeah, I feel that I'm not nearly training at the intensity level you are, but I recently lost 140 pounds. Holy shit. Just doing very normal workouts, walking and sit-ups mostly. And it does seem to help. Yeah, and don't forget about your diet. You clearly changed your diet. That's like 80, that's the 80-20 thing with weight loss or with weight gain if you're trying to put on muscle mass. People think it's like all about exercise. It's like, nah. It's 80% diet and 20% exercise. So first off, you're a legend. That's 70 kilo, roughly. That's an insane amount of weight to lose. And you must feel so proud of yourself, and you should. That's phenomenal. And yeah, walking and sit-ups, like just the basics. It's amazing how far the basics will get you. Even if you're trying to put on weight. I know I don't look like it now. Like I'm quite lean now, but I was 13 kilos heavier than I am now a year and a half ago after doing intense weightlifting training program for 12 weeks. And putting just doing basic things intensely and then just eating like a motherfucker. You know, just the basics will get you so far. So that's really fucking cool to hear, dude. Excuse my language, I'm Irish and we swear a lot. 30 seconds, 1:46 a.m. Okay. Last run and then bed. We'll see how long it takes for the mosquitoes to wake me up tonight. I went to bed at this time last night, 2 a.m. And I was woken up again at 3:30, covered in mosquitoes. And then it's so hot I couldn't get back to sleep again until 5. And then I slept through until 1:30 p.m. Someone knocked on my room. They're like, "You gonna train today?" I was like, "Nah." Got my wisdom tooth pulled out yesterday. I have a torn ligament in the back of my leg. And the heat wave has been for a week and it's going to last for another week. So when you're not sleeping right and you're not eating right and you've got 2 traumas that your body is trying to heal, you don't push yourself to try and prove something to anyone or yourself and then do yourself a massive injury. I'm here for 6 months. I'm not rushing into anything. So once this tooth is healed up and it cools down a bit, then I'll go full bore into it. But for now, just rest and recovery. It's not like I've quit training or anything. It's just like I can take a morning off. Oh, got another worm chest. Lovely. Let's get after it. Yeah, my diet was no processed sugar, no drinking calories. Protein equals 10% of my calorie intake. That was my rule set, and that got me here. I still have a long, long road ahead. Yeah, but you've forged the groove. Like you've started, and that's the hardest thing to do. And you've made unbelievable progress as well. So once you get that momentum going, it's a lot easier to maintain it. I'm on the protein as well. How much gold do I have? 130 on this character. But what I lack in gold, I make up for in haste potions. So I got 873 haste potions. It's worth about 12k at the moment. And I spent all the rest of the gold that I spend the gold as I make it. I farmed about between 90 and 100. I'd say it's about 100,000 gold at this stage since launch. But I did take 2 months off because I was traveling recently, and I still farmed a bit here and there in mana tombs, and I raid every week, of course. But the mana tombs farming generally over the last 2 months while I was traveling was enough to cover my raid cons, and then maybe a little bit extra. Yeah. Don't know why my ping is so bad now. Okay, so he Shadow Word pained me straight away. Ah, just a bit too late with that. Okay, so we're gonna wait until it ticks again. And then we're gonna do this. And then we're gonna do this. And we might be able to survive it. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be really careful when you get double pained like that. He hit me as soon as he came out of sap. He hit me with a Shadow Word Pain. I cloaked it. Then the 5 seconds runs out. He's still not dead. And then you're just hoping. And then I've had other fights where this guy can spawn in as a Dark Caster as well. Sometimes you get double Dark Caster. And I've had fights where I just sap him, open up on this guy, and then try and burst the two of them down. And I'm ready to cast my cloak because I know both of them can Shadow Word Pain me. And I've had fights where it just goes the whole fight. Well, the whole fight, I mean, it lasts less than 10 seconds because of the burst. But you don't get a single Shadow Word Pain. And then you get fights like that where you'll get pained. As soon as he comes out, you cloak. You don't get very good DPS. And then after 5 seconds, he pains you again. And in those instances, you need to be ready to look at the tick, see it tick. As soon as it ticks, you want to use your Cannibalize. If you don't have a pot left, you want to use your Cannibalize. And then as soon as it ticks again and knocks your Cannibalize off, you want to hit your Bandage. Just buffers that extra bit of health to stop you from getting one shot. Rich vein. Wow. So this was a very bad, very, very bad money RNG. Yeah, we did 5 runs. We got 200 gold out of it. Now we did miss out on like 1 addy, but that's only like 7 gold 50. So this is basically the bottom of MT. This is the bottom of what you can expect from MT. If you don't get any gems, you don't get any decent loot. 5 lockouts, you get 200 gold. 197.20, so we round down to 197. Let's do our calculator on that one. MT, 320 gold. We still need to add in the values from earlier as well. Multiplied by 4. 1280 plus, what did we say it was? 197. Divide that by 5. 295.4 rounded down, 295. From 5. Awesome. We'll update the subs tab as well now because I'm about to log. That's so nice. Let's go 6 out of 10. And I need to go over the stream and check the values for MT from earlier when we got disconnected. Oh, let's, before we go, let's...
Do not loiter. I have one-of-a-kind items. Salama Ashalanore.
Uh-huh. In America, it's all the rage to try these GLP-1s, and I'm doing it with no drug help, like, so that I just want to finish with not doing anything like that. That is even more impressive, dude. I know you're getting ready to get off, but I just want to say thank you for teaching me how to do the ZG lockboxes and pre-patch as well as the Ren solo. Class. You're a ZG pre-patch lockbox gang. You remember that gang? Oh, that's nice. Thank you for telling me that, because that just reminds me that of number 1, that amazing time. Number 2, that you were part of that historic moment. Where we found Spinesever, and we proved that the spell hit lowers pickpocket resist. And what a fun time that was. I'm so glad you were part of that, because it was fun. And there's going to be more fun times to come. Thank you for sharing that you've lost 140 pounds. That's really, really impressive. So we're both on a journey together, trying to better ourselves. And that's really nice to know that I have a kindred spirit out there who's on the same track, and another fellow beloved rogue, a fellow scumbag rogue who likes to rob shit and make money. So that's awesome. Let's see how lucky we get with our RNG. We got quite a lot of loot. I don't think we might run out of bag space here. was a fun stream. I learned a lot. Can't wait for tomorrow to enjoy it more. I found someone who I can chill and enjoy my day. Brother, thank you. My Serbian brother. Thank you very much. You're a legend. And yeah, I'll definitely be back on tomorrow, 100%. If my ping will improve and I can actually loot what's coming out of this in any time before 2027, that would be nice. And I learned a lot today as well. The fell iron bars in Wrath is definitely the most exciting thing that I learned today. Stacking those up, we're going to be so rich. Because it's considered to be, and it is technically, the lowest value asset in terms of ores from either of the farms. And to know now that it's going to turn into the highest value, one of the highest value assets in Wrath is really nice. Future transmutations are coming. Okay, let's see. We got 2 arcane dust, level 64. This is Mana Tomb's loot, so we're probably not going to see a large prismatic shard from a green, even if we do get lucky. But if we get lucky with a Steamvault green, we will. More dust. Now this is a level 70 green. 2 greater planar essence, that's nice. 3 arcane dust, that was bad from a wand. This is a level 70 band. Higher item level, 3 dust, not great. 2 greater planar essence, that's nice. 66 bracers, that's MT loot, but we got the greater planar, that's nice from bracers. Much more than the vendor. 2 greater planars from a level 64 wand, that's very good. Level 64 shield. Greater planar. Wow, okay, this is turning around now. This is turning around. 3 arcane dust from a level 70 green though. Come on, let's get LPS. 2 arcane dust. Shield. Hey, there we go. Large prismatic shard. Sweet. 1 large prismatic shard from a green. I'm happy. At least I think that was a green. Ooh, followed by 2 greater planars. That's nice. Level 70 green cape. Level 70 ring. Neck. Okay, now we're in the Dust Bowl. Come on, let's finish strong with something nice. A greater planar essence, we'll take that. That's nice, that's nice.
Looking for something special?
I might actually start stacking gold now instead of buying haze pots. Because we are going to need a couple of thousand when phase 3 launches. Maybe more than a couple. Because we're going to want to buy epic gems off the auction house as soon as we can. And we're also going to want to buy the leatherworking bracers that are BOE. People are going to put them up on the auction house. There's going to be, after the first midnight raid, somebody's going to have one up there. And it would be nice to be able to just buy the best stuff we can get straight away, even though it's going to be ridiculously overpriced. Although, to be honest, we'll probably wait the week because we'll do the midnight launch raid with the guild. And then we don't have to buy the bracers until before the next raid. So we should wait the week for them to drop, which is what we'll do actually. I love to see those primal waters still sitting just under 20. They've been a solid 20 gold since the first month. They've been just so solid. They did drop down to like 15 toward the end of phase 1. But they bounced back hard, which was really nice. Let's see how much we've got on the auction house. 225 gold, 42 pending. All right, 545. Let's see what haze pots are going for. 1639. We're not buying them at that. We'll buy them at under 16. That's the highest they've been. So we're losing 7.5% increase from what we generally get them at. Yeah. I think I'll send 500 gold back to Bacon. This is my level 70 rogue. And like he's got everything you need to farm. You know, he's got the belt, he's got the boots, he's got the gloves, he's got the charm of alacrity. Maybe I should just keep harp spec on McBacon and just do oh, he's got harp spec as well, hasn't he? Yeah, because I put him into mana tombs. And what's he got at a second spec? Combat daggers, right? Maybe I'll turn him into subtlety and just do the SV runs with him. So I can have harp on, and then I don't have to be messing around switching spec. That seems like a good idea. Ah, but then we can't do the combat chest, right? Yeah. All right, you beautiful people. That's it from me. I'm going to bid you adieu, and I'll be back on tomorrow. What did we do? We did 8:30 to 2. What's that, 5.5 hours? 6-hour stream, holy shit. Wow, we're dropping some frames though. Let me check my V2 Rayan. Okay, so every single node on the network that I can possibly join, and there are 47 of them, all have the best MS delay is 517. And then it goes down to 774. So every single node available on V2 Rayan, which is what I route my stream through, is in the red. So there's something going on with the network, which we'll get to the bottom of. We'll try and solve that lunchtime tomorrow and see if we can better it. Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for all of your support, all the chats, comments,